Oh yeah. Call them so-called approvals. One is a development order. It's clearly a development order, but as far as we are concerned, only is a planning permission for subdivision of the land. That's all it is. Because subdivision is also development under the Act. When you divide a big piece of land into 10 small lots, that's subdivision. That is defined as development and needs planning permission, and they've got it. That we now know. We were asking them from last year, writing letters, asking, and DBKL refused to show, and finally it came out here. So that also is another something I think beyond this law case that I think citizens should take note, that we expect better standards of governance, from people like DBKL. Second, the approval is this approval under the Streets, Drainage and Buildings Act to put up hoarding, and we are saying that circumventing the more stringent planning controls under the Town and Country Planning Act, and that's why the lawyer jumped and I said circumvention. He couldn't take it, he wanted to kind of sort of stop that.
Putting up hoardings we have submitted also amounts to...
The third approval, which we haven't started talking about, is again a so-called approval to do earthworks. Again we say earthworks needs a development order. It needs planning permission through a development order, and that is stated in the first development order. And so therefore the right they're claiming to do earthworks has got no legal foundation, it's not lawful. So now, and then we have now filed an application to amend our documents in our case in court to raise some new legal issues
based on what we saw.
Based on those approvals and so on, where we will be arguing that quite far-reaching arguments about the situation of the planning rules in Kuala Lumpur and the planning law in Kuala Lumpur. So that you appreciate what this is about, there is a Town and Country Planning Act. Derek is an expert on that, the national law, the national act. And KL has its own planning law under the Federal Territory Planning Act. And these are some of the issues we will be raising. So we may, that's what you saw in the last part of the hearing today. No, the interim. I mean, the status quo means everybody's
don't do anything.
No work can be done.
Until 5th of May.
That carries on until 5th of May. Yeah, I think that's for sure. Otherwise, we can't. And then we'll carry on until the end of the hearing, until the judge decides whether she grants a stay or doesn't grant a stay. Any questions?
So can we write that the interim stay until
the 5th of May? Until the 5th of May.
No peril to the residents.
No, at this point, no, they're not going to do any work.
We cannot do any work.
And we'll of course have to wait
Not
for
a single shunkhole on the land.
but it's important when you write.
Yes, they are already doing shunkhole.
This case is an example of what's going around in Kuala Lumpur all over the place. A general unhappiness by people who are living in Kuala Lumpur of the way planning is being done. There must be one planning law for the whole country, clear procedures, and the right for all people, all members of the public, to have a right to have a say. And documents should be shown, development orders should be given. There shouldn't be anything which needs to be hidden. And I think this agenda is national, it should be done. And Kuala Lumpur is out of phase with what is happening in the whole of the country, and it's about time these things had changed. And I hope the government looks into these issues very, very seriously, because major unhappiness in the area of planning in Kuala Lumpur and elsewhere in other places too. And it needs reform.
For example, if the residents were shown this development order, which we now see dated 2nd October, you would have moved earlier, instead of being shown on the 16th of April through the developer's affidavit, not even, which came first, and that's how we saw it.
The development should not be a secret. There's nothing secret about it. If somebody wants to improve the economy, wants to improve it, he or she should let the public know his plans, how they will benefit from it, what are the disadvantages they may suffer, and how he will mitigate against those disadvantages. There's nothing secret about all this, and there's absolutely no need for it to continue this way. Okay?
So the storyline for tomorrow is, why was DBKL hiding the documents from the residents?